What's up, y'all? This is Glicious21. Behind me we have Alexa, my Acura MDX. Today I'm gonna be explaining what I did to install my second row headrest monitors. This is front row entertainment for third row passengers. So my first step was to use a flathead screwdriver, pop this little trim piece out. Then from the bottom, I pull, I can feel push pins popped. So there's push pins here. Come on the side, use a flathead screwdriver, pop this off. Gonna see if I can do the other side and just leave that on there and see how that turns out first. Okay, I successfully did it without removing this little trim piece on the side here. I'm gonna put this aside. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and remove the factory headrests. Put that over there in the car seat. That's what we got. You see the holes made for the factory headrest. I'm gonna go ahead and get my aftermarket headrest. Alright. Go. That's what we got. In the box. Gonna have to use these right now. They come in handy. For at least one of the holes. Okay, I got them both out the box. Now these are supposed to be able to adjust. Right here, it's supposed to be able to go closer or go more outward. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the factory headrests and compare it. Oh, let me in case I didn't show y'all what the seat back looked like. It's like this, and this is the kind of pins that it has. I don't know, I've never seen those pins in Hondas, but this is what's holding the seat backs onto the seat right there. So just be careful not to break those. They pop right out. Some of them came out broken out of place and stayed in there. As you can see, there's one right there, one right there. I'm gonna have to pull those out and see if I can put them back in there. So here we grab the factory headrests and we compare them. So I'm gonna try to get these to move in a little bit closer, as close as possible, so that see if they can go use the same holes that's already built into my factory seats. If not, then I'm just gonna use the adjuster hole, and then I'm gonna have to make a separate hole for the one that doesn't have the adjuster on it. Make a separate hole in the seat and use these. I just looked inside to see what it's like to adjust these to bring them in closer. And I just wanted to show y'all what I observed. Look in there, there's a screw. It's kind of like a clamp screw. And there's a clamp screw on the other side too. There's 2 clamp screws per one of these. And you loosen those clamp screws and slide it over on the sliding rail. And then you tighten the clamp screws back up. And that's how you adjust it in or out. Now I was able to put a tight squeeze on it, get it that far close, but it's still not to specs for the factory one that came in. This one is the one that opens up because there's a disc inside. They also have HDMI input, auxiliary, USB, and headphone input. So let me take this one. Here we go. We're at the third roll. It's back there. We are going to first take this cable, and this is going to go down in the hole first. Go ahead and push the slack down in there. Feed the slack in. Feed all the slack. Okay, slack is in there. Position it. And I may need to make another hole right here on the side right here. And use one of these guys right here to support it and house it. Okay, the way I got it sitting right now, go ahead and take a box cutter. You want to make a tiny little slit in the leather right there. So I'm gonna move that to the side a little bit, make a tiny little slit in the leather. After you're done making that tiny little cut in the leather, take a flathead screwdriver or whatever object you can use to penetrate it and fully penetrate it all the way in. Once you fully penetrate the hole, go ahead and find out which tube you want to use. You got thick ones and thin ones. You will take the tube, go ahead and stick it in the hole that you penetrated first, and then you go ahead and put the tube in through that hole, and then you got your lines down here. And of course this part connects to your wire harness here. This part right here, connect them together. And then on the other end you have your 12 volt source, power source. Make sure it's an accessory 12 volt that you hook it up to, so that when you turn your keys to the accessory position, that's when it'll power on the seat monitors. They won't be on 24/7. And this is your ground. Of course, you got to ground that to a negative frame connection. This is your video output, I believe, so that you can send you can share video to other devices and audio to other devices. And this is your audio video input, which you will sync using RCA cables from your main head unit back to the seats. And that is how you do the install, the seat monitor headrests. My phone is about to die, so I can't show the full install, but at least you'll know, because this part, once you start making the holes in the seats and you feed the wiring through, you're halfway done already. You're halfway done. If you're good with wiring, you'll be able to figure out the rest on your own, but if you can't, just go back and read what I put. You can find accessory, you can usually find an accessory fuse in the fuse panel. You can use anything to test it, like a multimeter or a test light, to find out what fuses only get power when you turn the key to the accessory position. And that's the wiring you want to run your fuse wire to. And that is it. Foot on brake, push button.